but I'll pause.
Welcome everyone to the Cornwall annual budget meeting. In person and via Zoom. This is our first hybrid town meeting. Thanks to our so far one attendee who's here at Town Hall. So we hope, how you doing, Bill? We hope to have, I think going forward, if we keep making progress, we'll go back to in-person town meetings. So again, we're going slowly, cautiously, like everything else. But anyway, thank everyone for attending this annual meeting. This is the process that started when snow was still on the ground back in January, and here we are at the final spot meeting. We had the budget hearing last month, and I'm not going to go over everything there is in the budget, but the budget is online, and after the meeting, if there are any questions people didn't have a chance to ask, we are around and are more than glad to discuss the budget with people at any time. So, I'll start the meeting by asking for a nomination for moderator. And if there will be votes taken. So if you please raise your hand when it's time to vote, and John will record them. If they're not unanimous, he'll count hands or whatever. Doesn't look like a super rowdy crowd, but you never know. So I'll start by asking for nominations for moderator, and don't forget to unmute if you are going to participate. Any nominations for moderator?
I'm nominating, yes. I'm nominating Lisa Samant.
Second.
So there's a second there, a nomination, a second for Lisa Samant. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a motion to close nominations for moderator?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second? Second, moved in second to close nominations for moderator. All those in favor of closing nominations for moderator, say aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, looks to be unanimous. All those in favor of Lisa Samant as moderator, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Unanimous mandate, Lisa. Thank you for moderating.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming, however you got there. I love it that Will Berry is sitting in the town hall. Yes. Okay. I'd like to ask the town clerk to read the call and review the voting qualifications for this town meeting.
Electors and citizens qualified to vote at town meetings of the town of Cornwall are hereby notified and warned that a special town meeting will be held on Friday, May 21st, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. at Town Hall, 26 Pines, Cornwall, Connecticut 06753, and virtually via Zoom.
I was there in Salisbury.
Adoption of municipal budget fiscal year 2021-2022 as recommended by the Board of Finance. Signed and dated at Cornwall, Connecticut, this 5th day of May 2021 by a majority of the Board of Selectmen. And you want me to review the, Lisa, you want me to review the qualifications?
Yes, please, but I have to tell you, Vera, that your sound has dropped way down. At least for me, I can barely hear you.
I've got it turned up to 100%.
All right, go for it.
Okay, you may vote in a town meeting if you are a registered voter or an elector of the town of Cornwall. If you're a registered voter and elector, you're all set. No other qualifications necessary. If you are voting as a property owner in the town of Cornwall, you must be a citizen of the United States and can show proof of citizenship to me if you have not already done so. And I have a list of over 100 people who have already shown me proof of citizenship. And you must be on the last completed grand list for not less than $1,000. So if you have a car that's worth $1,000 on the grand list, then you're considered a property owner who can vote in the town meeting or referendum. Your name cannot be, your property cannot be on the grand list under a corporation, an LLC, a partnership, or a trust, because those are not considered citizens of the United States. And that's it.
Thank you, Vera. Gordon? Unmute yourself.
Oh, there we go. Yes, so I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed budget for the fiscal year July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022, as recommended by the Cornwall Board of Finance.
Is there a second? Okay, Asher Pavel seconds. All right. Gordon, why don't you start the discussion, you and Joe?
Yeah, just as I said before, it's the process that started back in January, and I'd like to thank our Board of Selectmen and all the town officials and boards that worked hard to try to keep expenditures down to a practical level, enabling us to do some things that we want to do without putting a huge burden on the taxpayers. There are some significant increases in the budget, primarily to do things like pay for increased disposal costs for garbage and other materials down at the transfer station. Also, we did increase our donation to the library and child center. We increased the amount of money going to the senior bus. So we did make some increases in the budget. And I think it's realistic. And I think also thanks goes to the school. Our new principal there came in with a very minimal increase despite having increased students. So again, thank everyone, and I'd be glad to answer any particular questions people might have. But I think our budget is necessary, practical, and will not cause sticker shock to the taxpayer.
Okay. Joe, do you want to say anything? I can't hear you, Joe.
Joe?
Yep.
We can't hear you.
Yeah. Just. Okay, I guess we're sort of incommunicado with Cream Hill at the moment. Does anyone want to make any comments or ask any questions of Gordon? This has been a long process, and the meetings have been well attended on Zoom. Just one of the benefits we have to give to Zoom is that a lot more people showed up at the meetings than usual. So, are there questions?
Yeah. So, yeah, Joe, Jonathan suggests that you might want to just leave the meeting and come back in because you got the Board of Finance afterwards. That might be the audio problem. I'm not. So we are picking something else up, and we're seeing some of the limitations of the Zoom meetings. It's tough. So I mean, going
Joe,
forward,
John, you might try.
I think I might be back.
There he is.
I might be back.
You're back.
Dropped out, completely dropped out. But what I was going to say was that it was unanimously passed, and that at the size of this budget, we'll be likely to keep our mill rate flat. and still keep our non-designated funds increasing. So it's a, very conservative budget, and it's a positive future in terms of the mill rate.
Okay. All right, if I don't hear any more comments. Richard?
Is it time to call the question? No more comments?
Okay. Nope, that requires that we go straight to the vote. Okay, all those in favor of approving this budget for the fiscal years 2021, 2022, please say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? I see no one, Jonathan. I don't know about you, but I'd say the motion carries. Gordon?
Yes. Thank you, everyone, and I'll make a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Lisa.
Need a second? Okay, John Brown seconds. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The meeting is adjourned. The Board of Finance will stick around because we have to set the mill rate.
Okay.
Okay, well done.
Okay, welcome to part two. I guess, Barbara, would you be able to put up your cheat sheet showing no, okay. No, okay. Let's see. I suppose, as we know from our previous discussions, the mill rate, if we kept the mill rate flat, we would require $270,739 out of our undesignated fund to keep that mill rate at that rate. And even so, even after keeping the mill rate flat, our coverage in terms of operating budget divided by months of reserve would increase from 3.82 to 3.95, meaning we will have more undesignated funds reserves in ratio to what we spend based upon the formula that Connecticut provides. So basically our cash balance situation will improve. Last year was 3.82, but the year before was 3.52. The year before was 2.69. So we've basically been in that range, kind of in the high twos to high threes, and this is the highest based upon the budget. This is going to be the highest reserves we have even after keeping the mill rate flat. So I know we've all had this discussion, but it would be a good time to see if there are any comments at this point. All right, so I have it right, Barbara, right? The 16.70 number, right? Okay, just to make 100% sure that didn't change in any later paperwork. But I think I have the most recent one here. So this would be a time to entertain a motion regarding setting the mill rate at 16.70.
So moved.
That's Janet.
This is Janet.
Janet's making the motion and John Laporte is seconding.
Thank you.
Should we have any discussion? Let's open the floor up to discussion. It does not appear that anybody but unmute yourself if you do want to say something. Don't forget to unmute yourself, of course. It's a nice reminder. Okay, without any discussion evident, I would entertain a motion to close discussion and move forward with the vote. Okay, John Laporte is making a motion to end discussion. And anyone seconding?
So
John
moved.
Brown?
Second,
Okay. So all in favor of setting the mill rate to the same amount last year of 16.70, raise your hand and say aye.
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 And anyone opposed, please raise your hand and unmute yourself. Okay, the motion carries unanimously. Thank you, everybody. And that concludes, we could have a motion, I guess, to end our meeting.
I
John
moved
Laporta,
to end the meeting.
and a
Second.
second. Janet Carlson's the second, John Laporta's the first. And thank you, everybody. It was a successful
All right,
budget
thanks,
year.
Joe. Awesome
Good.
job. Awesome
Thanks,
year, guys.
Barbara and
Thank you.
Gordon and everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you.
Record time.
Thanks, Joe.
Sorry about my
Thanks.
technical issues over here.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Right.